guys, this is Rosa Kelly. Welcome back to my channel and to another day on the 12 days of Christmas. So today is day 11. I can't believe time is flying so fast. I hope that you guys have been enjoying all the projects and have been getting so much inspiration between me and Debbie to create some beautiful Christmas handmade gifts, maybe Christmas gifts for yourself as well. And so today I'm going to be playing with the new collection by Chavela called London's Calling, and this is their winter deluxe collection. I did do a full collection review, which I'm gonna post right after I post this video, maybe a little bit before, I'm not sure yet, but we're gonna be creating a folio using this collection. But as always, let me remind you first that this series is a giveaway, so make sure that you are leaving a comment under each one of the videos, and you also want to make sure to go visit my friend Debbie and see what projects she has created for you today. Her link will be on the description box as well. I know a few of you have been asking me for her link, and so yeah, so I am excited to get started. So we're gonna create a super fast fun little folio, and I want this folio to also be a shaker because this collection calls for snow shaker. I don't know, but we'll see what we come out with. So I'm gonna be wrapping my chipboard pieces on this cardstock piece here, and I went ahead and cut these at 8 by 6, so I have 2 pieces of those, and I have a piece of 8 by 1.5. So I am just going to join these together here, and we are going to just go ahead and wrap this. So as always, I want to start with my spine piece right at the center of the page here, and then we are going to add these pieces. Okay, so leave a space in between the chipboard pieces here, just a bit, and then we are going to do the other side. Right here, and here we go. Okay, so now we're just going to fold the sides, add some double-sided tape, and just wrap this around. Now I'm just going to glue another piece of cardstock here on the inside of the spine. This piece measures 7 3/4 by 4, and so we are just going to glue this down right here. I'm gonna press down. And then we're going to score along the bending lines. Okay, so we're just gonna score here and on this side here as well. Okay, and then we're just gonna fold this side, and I'm gonna fold this side here. And so there you go. So now we have the binding ready, and the next thing that I'm gonna do is work on the cover because I have this idea for the cover and I am just excited. And so I am going to pick a design for the background. So I really want to use this one here with the houses, and I'm just gonna take this one out, but I want this to be about 5 3/4, so I'm just gonna cut that. Actually, I'm gonna cut it at 6 first. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take out the image, and then I'm gonna size it. Okay, so we want this is exactly 8 by 6, which is the size of my book, but I think I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. So we're gonna take some down the bottom. So I'm gonna cut these at 7 3/4, and then by 5 3/4 here. And so what I want to do is make this page into a shaker, and so I went ahead and cut some chipboard pieces here as well, and I'm going to be adding that on the top and just kind of make this background into a shaker. So first I'm gonna glue this down. Okay, so we're just gonna glue down this whole piece right here. Okay, and then I am going to be using some chipboard pieces. I actually need to cut some more, but these are going to be 1/2 inch by 7 3/4. Okay, so I'm gonna do 4 of those. I need to cut more of those. So this is why I always save my chipboard pieces. So I'm gonna do 1/2 inch by 7 3/4. Okay, so here I have these ones, and then I am going to do 1/2 inch by 4 3/4. Okay, so 4 3/4 here, and 4 3/4, and then let's see if I can cut this little piece without cutting my fingers. One, and okay, this one I'm just gonna cut by hand because I don't want to cut my fingers. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is just layer 2 of these pieces together. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 of these, and then we're gonna do 2 here, and then I'm gonna do these 2. Let me see, these 2 together. Oops, there we go. And then these 2. Okay, and then we're going to glue these pieces all around the sides. Okay, so we're gonna do this one, okay, and I'm just gluing those on top of the image. Okay, leaving a little space. We're gonna do this one here. Now you want to make sure all of these pieces are touching and you are not leaving any space open so the shaker pieces don't come out. Okay, so those here. Now let's do this one. Okay, along the top, and then we're gonna glue this last one right there. Okay, so just add glue, and we're gonna put this one right here. Okay, so we have now the dimensional frame, and we can go ahead and add our shaker. I'm gonna do the shaker in a little bit because what I want to do is create an acetate page, and we're gonna do another image on the front. So I'm going to cut this image here to add to the acetate page, and I just want like this little house. Let's see, maybe I can do something like this. I just want like the toy shop there, and then I'm gonna take down the bottom. And now this is optional. If you don't have a laminator, you can just use a piece of acetate and cut the dimension, which is gonna be 7 3/4 by 5 3/4, and just glue it here on the top after you add your shaker bits. But what I like to do with the laminator is to kind of create a second plane. So we're gonna have like a little bit of like an image on the background and an image here on the front with the laminator. I'm gonna cut these a bit smaller. Okay, and then I'm also going to go ahead and just ink around the sides a little bit. Okay. Okay, so now let me bring my laminator. So I have my laminator ready, and I'm just gonna add the image here. I just want to make sure this is straight, and I'm not putting it too close to the edge, and also more towards the bottom, because you want to make sure this goes like this. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and pass this through. Okay, so that's going. So here is my laminated page, and I cut another layer of chipboard because my shaker beads, I only have glass beads, so they're kind of thick. I want to make sure they don't get stuck, so I'm going to add one more layer here. Going to cut my laminator page, and so I'm going to go about 1/2 inch from the edge of this piece. Maybe I'm gonna go more like 3/4 inches there, and 3/4 inches to the side. Okay, and now I'm going to count 7 3/4 from the bottom here. And then 5 3/4 from this. I'm more like 5 1/2 actually, because I don't want this coming out. So let's test this piece. Okay, so I do want this a little bit lower, so I am going to trim more down from the bottom here, and just a bit on the side. Okay, so we can trim it a little smaller. Just make sure that steel will cover most of these. Okay, so that is how I'm gonna glue that. Now I'm going to, well, maybe more to this side. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a tiny bit off this side. That should be good. Now I'm going to add my shaker pieces. Okay, and I'm going for the white, of course, so it looks like snow. Okay, so we're just gonna add all of these. I'm gonna add, oops, see if I can add all of this ones here too. I like the glass beads because they don't really get staticky compared to other shaker. What is the one that gets very staticky? Is I think the sequence. I'm not sure actually, but this is the one that I normally go for. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so those are in there, and now we can glue this here. Okay, they're actually all getting staticky now. I don't know why I said that. Okay, so I'm going to place it like that. So let's take this out, and I'm going to add my glue all around here. Okay, so I make sure I have enough glue, and now I can add this piece right there. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna hold that, wait for this to dry, and make sure you don't get any air holes, air bubbles. Okay, so I'm just gonna press down here. And like I was saying, when you laminate, you could put here, when you laminate this piece, you can put a little title there as well, so your title is also laminated if you wanted to do that. Okay, so I'm just waiting for this to dry. So here is my shaker, and I love how it looks. I love the kind of like a snowy effect. Now I'm going to use this sheet here to kind of cover the outside of my shaker. So we're going to cut this at 5 3/4 by 7 3/4 here. And then I also want to cut a center piece, and I'm just gonna cut at 1 inch all around here without really measuring too much, because I'm going to also do like a different edge. Okay, so we're just gonna do a window here of 1 inch. Okay, like that, and here. And so I'm just gonna take this out. Now you're gonna see that 1 inch is too big for the window that I wanna show. But what I wanna do is go on the inside part of this and just kind of do like an uneven type of border. Okay, so just gonna go like that. A little scallop edge like this. I think that will look really nice. Go like that. Okay, so just however you cut it, make sure that the smallest part has to be at least 1/2 inch, so your chipboard sides is not showing. And also, instead of chipboard, you can do foam tape. I forgot to mention that. I just normally use chipboard because I have tons, and I always save my scraps, and it's a great way to use it to create this type of shaker pages. Okay, so I'm gonna go like that. Perfect. Okay, so we have that, and now this can look like a beautiful like a winter display, Christmas display. Okay, so now we can glue this down. So we're just gonna add the glue here and all the way Okay, so make sure you get the corners really good. And we're gonna put this here. So now be careful when you place this, because you don't want the glue to smudge on your acetate page. Okay, so we're just gonna go around and go around here. Okay, so just a couple times. And I really love how this looks. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. I know it doesn't have a lot of Christmas on it, but again, this could be a beautiful winter book also. And we do have some Christmas lights around this window here. Okay, so there we go. So we have our shaker cover. You can add Merry Christmas up here. You can add a sentiment from the collection. Let's go ahead and work on the inside of the book. Okay, so now we're gonna work on the pages for this book. And at first I wanted to make this into a folio, but I think this is calling mini album to me. So I'm gonna make like a Midori style album here, and I selected these 4 pages. Now these are a combination of the 12 by 12 pad and the patterns pad as well. And so I'm going to be cutting these pages at 7 3/4. So we're gonna do this 7 3/4, and we're gonna cut this by 11. Okay, so 7 3/4 by 11 for these covers. For this one, since it has something on the bottom, I'm actually gonna count here 7 3/4. Okay, and what I'm going to do is score along the bottom here, so we can use that space to be kind of like a fold out. So I'm going to score at 7 3/4. So I guess I could say I cut this at 9 1/2 first, and then we're scoring at 7 3/4, and I'm going to fold this back here, and that way on the back we're gonna have this little pocket section, or like a tag spot, and then these pieces you want to just fold in half there as well. Okay, so this one is gonna go like that, and it's gonna go like this, and then you can just fold that here. Okay, so your pages should be, oh, this one I didn't cut, but your pages should be 5 1/2 by 7 3/4. Okay, so here we go, which is the same as this one here. This one we just need to fold in half, and look how pretty is this paper. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the same for this one. This one I'm just gonna cut at 7 3/4. Okay, and then I'm going to cut these at 11, and then we're gonna fold in half, and same for this one, 7 3/4, and then by 11 here. Okay, and then fold in half. And Midori style books, they're pretty much like a journal, but instead of journaling or tea dye papers, we are using design paper, pattern paper, right? So it's a little bit of a heavier weight. Now I cut these ones at 10 1/2. I'm gonna use these scrap pieces as pages as well, and I'm just gonna fold here and fold here. Okay, so that is gonna be, let's see here, we have some pages, 4 pages. This one, oh, this one here I'm also going to use the same way. We're gonna cut these to 10.5, and then we are going to fold in half. Here we go. Then I'm going to do maybe 3 more pages. These ones are just gonna be any background pages here, so I'm just gonna select, like, let's say this one. I'm not using that one right now. I can use that one, and then let me pick one more here, maybe this map. And then for these ones, I'm going to cut all these pages here also at 7 3/4. Okay, cut like that. So I'm going to score this one here at 4.5. Okay, and then I'm gonna fold this there. And then the other two, or the other page, I'm just gonna fold in here, just like that. Okay, so that's gonna be like this. So when you open it, it's gonna open up like that, and it's gonna be binded right there. Okay, so that's gonna be this page. You can also fold this forward. Okay, so you can open up like that, and that can be this page. And then I'm gonna do something like that for here. Maybe I'm gonna fold this at also 4.5. I'll do that right there, and then I'm going to fold this one in. And you want this second piece to be smaller than that one, okay, because here's where the binding is gonna go. If you fold it right towards the end of this, it's gonna be hard to open this page. Okay, so we have that one. We can fold it like that, or we can fold it in here like that. Okay, so I think I like it folded in better. And let's do the same for this one. Now this one, because I want the whole image, I am actually going to score at 5.25 here. Okay, and then this I can bring out like that. Okay, so now I have different fold out pages. I'm going to ink around. Okay, so now we are going to make our pages, or build the pages. And so I'm going to be using the different pages to create 2 bundles. And so I want these 2 to be kind of like the covers, and then we can kind of mix them up here. I can use one of these pages with the fold out. I can use another one of these, and then I have the small pages there, so I can probably use maybe 2 of these here, something like that. That's gonna be 1. Then we have this one again. I can use this fold out. I have the chest set, really like that. And we have this one. Make sure they all open on the same place here. And then I have this other fold out, and I'm just gonna put this one there as well here. So I have 2 of these sets, and I also have some tea-dye paper that I'm actually going to incorporate along the pages, so we can have some places to journal. That is the good thing about these type of books. You can actually add anything. It's almost like a journal. So this book keeps just switching directions and kind of speaking to us. So I'm just gonna go for that, and I'm gonna maybe add this. I have 2 here, maybe we can put that right there. Okay, so now I have those two, and I do plan on building into this a bit more also, which is what I like to do, adding more fold outs and things like that. So I am just going to keep it like this, but I do want to add this other page that I have. Okay, so now to add the pages onto our book, we're going to use an embroidery needle and some thread. I'm using embroidery yarn as well, and we are just going to simply make 3 holes so we can add our signatures onto the page. And this spine measures 1.5, which is actually perfect because we are just going to mark at half and at 1, and that way we're gonna have equal spacing for our signature pages. So I'm marking at half and at 1, and here I'm marking at half and at 1. Okay, and then we're going to line this up, and I'm going to use, you see this inside piece that we added, this inside piece measures 7 3/4, which is the same size as this here. Okay, so we're gonna center to that. So I'm just gonna mark at the center. Okay, so that is going to be, well, if we mark at the center of the 7 3/4, I'm just gonna mark at 4. Okay, so it's not exactly the center, but it's a nice even number. Okay, and then from that inside cardstock, I'm going to measure 1. Actually, I'm going to measure 2 inches, and I'm going to put a little dot right there. Okay, so 2 inches from here, from this inside cardstock, and then 2 inches from that other inside cardstock. Okay, here and right here, and then I'm just going to erase all the other marks at the top. Okay, so we have a dot at 4 inches, and then measuring from this line inside cardstock, 2 inches, 4 inches, and then 2 inches from the bottom. And then we're going to do the same on this one. Okay, so we're going to go from the center. Maybe I'm gonna put this one there so it's not gonna be in the way. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same here. We're gonna measure from the edge, top edge. We're gonna measure at 2, and then at 4, and then we're gonna slide this over so we have a whole number at the end, and mark at 6, or 2 inches from the bottom. And I'm going to poke my holes right on those 3 dots here. Make sure you don't poke your fingers on the back. Okay, and then here is my other one. Okay, so I have the 3 holes there, and then I'm actually gonna use this one so I don't have to measure again, and put that one at the center of these here. Let me find the center. Oh, I think the center is also this page right there, so that's okay. We're just gonna put this one on top, and we are going to make the same holes here at the center. Okay, and then this one here, and then there is the one here. Okay, so now we have the 3 holes, and we are going to do the same 3 holes here. Okay, so right there, trying not to get my finger on the back. I have done that way too many times. Okay, so there, and then the center. And normally I do, like if I was doing a journal, I will do the binding on a cereal cover, so it's a lot easier. But because this is like a mini album, I wanted to have the hard covers. Okay, so now we're ready to start adding our signatures. So I'm gonna take this back here where it needs to go. And so we're going to start at the center. So we're gonna pass your needle through the center, and you should be able to go through all your layers. And this is actually my first signature, so I'm gonna put that one here on the first center hole, and then we're just gonna pull this out. You want one side longer than the other, of course, because one is gonna stay behind at the center. And then we're going to go either top of or bottom. Okay, so we're gonna go right there, and then through all of these pre-made holes. Okay, it should be pretty easy once you pre-made the holes. Okay, so now we're just gonna pull this out and go now to the top. Okay, all of them, and then make sure you go on the right line. And I'm gonna take that, and then you're gonna end up back at the center here. Okay, so here we go. Let me pull this to the side so I don't go on that. And then we're just gonna pull this out. Now when we do this, you want to make sure that you end on both sides of this center. That way we can just pull and we can tie this. Okay, so now we're just gonna make a knot. There we go. And then we will do the same. And so now we're gonna cover the inside and the outside covers. So I'm gonna use this page, and we're gonna cut this. I really want this hour, so I'm gonna cut it like this at 7 3/4, and this is going to be by 5 3/4. And so I'm just gonna finish up by adding some of these different elements here. So I want to use some of these cards, and we can glue those like that so they're kind of coming out. And then this is the layout. Then maybe we can add a little pocket on this page here, just using some of my scrap pieces. Can have a little pocket right there. On these pages I like to add some of these cards as well, so it kind of looks like that. Maybe we can do that here. Okay, so I'm just gonna add these, like the glue like that, so that we can also have a little pocket in there, so we can add something there as well. And then here I'm just gonna leave that. Maybe here we need like a little postcard image there as well, so we're just gonna do the same here. That there. And then this next page, another one of these. You can put the owl right here. And I really like seeing like the different page sizes coming out. We have that, like that. I really like that. And then this can probably go there too. Oh, and then these little pockets, we can just simply add some glue and close that up. And then this will be a good tack spot. And same thing for this one. Right there. And so that is going to be the inside of these pages. Maybe even this we can fold, but I think I'm going to leave it. And so yeah, so now the last thing that I'm going to do is just cover the outside of the book. And so there you go. Here is our album. This is all ready. I'm actually going to decorate a little bit more, and maybe I'll do a separate walkthrough once I am done, because I do want to add some lace and some more tags to these pages. Maybe I'll build some more like fold outs and things like that. But I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial. I know this was a little bit longer than I will normally do for the 12 days, but I just really had this idea, and I absolutely love how this came out. I love the collection, and I hope that you guys like it as well. Make sure to come back tomorrow for the last project on the 12 days of Christmas. I'm also going to be sharing with you what my secret giveaway is going to be. Go visit my friend Debbie to see what she has created for you guys today, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.